the meeting. Is Philip up here, Steve?
There's a lady in there.
She's in there. Okay, at this time, we'll go on and call the meeting of the Madison County Fiscal Court to order. Kenny?
Master King.
Here.
Master Barter.
Here.
Master Hughes.
Here.
Master Combs. Here. Judge Clark.
Here. Before we get started, I'd like the court's permission to amend the agenda. The first thing is, and I don't know how we did it, but left Bud Carr, who is our insurance broker and has been for years and years and years, and has saved us hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, I might add. Bud's here to go over and kind of briefly explain the plan that we'd like to take this year. It's a really good plan. It's still a Cadillac Insurance, and we're going to save some money. Look at a very, very minimal increase in health insurance, and that's very rare today. So also, I'd like to strike the executive session. That was a misprint from the last meeting. So there'll be no executive session, and I'd like to add Bud to explain our Progressive Family Health Insurance, if that's okay with the court. I don't think we need a motion. Okay. You all have had a chance to look at the minutes of the last meeting. If there are no changes, no discussion, a motion would be in order to approve those that in your screens.
Second.
Master King.
Yes.
Master Barter.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Combs. Yes. Judge Clark.
Yes. Treasurer's report, we don't have that. That'll be in our first meeting of the month. Glenna has passed out our fiscal year 13-14, the period ending third quarter, March 31st, the finance statement, also the appropriations conditions. So you all have that. If anybody has any questions about that after the meeting, please feel free to talk to Glenna about it. We're going to order of business first. We're very pleased to have Alicia Steels here with really with the leadership class, and they're doing a Touch a Truck and a Touch Your Community program that we're all excited about. And Alicia, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you explain a little bit about what's going on and how this is going to benefit everybody in the community.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure as a member of the 2013-2014 Leadership Madison County class to come talk to you about our Touch a Truck, Touch Your Community event, which is taking place this Saturday, May 17th at the EKU Alumni Coliseum parking lot. It will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if you're not familiar with this concept, basically we are bringing together lots of different types of vehicles. So touching trucks, literally you get to touch trucks. We've got fire trucks. I think France's going to tell you a little bit about the types of vehicles that will be there. But the idea is to connect folks with not only these trucks, but the people who work on them, and also some of the human service organizations who are doing great work here in our county, like the Health Department, Habitat for Humanity, God's Outreach, Legal Aid. We're inviting folks like that as well to set up and interact with people, tell them about what they're doing in the community, how we can help them. Everybody will get a little passport, which you can take around to those folks and get it punched and be eligible for great prizes. Judge, thank you for your generosity in donating some of those prizes. You know, a pool pass, we'll have laser tag passes, gift cards to Gillum's, great folks like that. Special thanks to sponsors. Gillum Sports Lounge is one of our Bobcat sponsors, as well as Central Bank and Trust. Those folks donated to help make this event possible. And we've also partnered with the City of Richmond Department of Parks and Recreation to make this event happen. So we're really excited about it. Invite everybody to come out. It's going to be a great, fun-filled day. The weather is looking good. I'm checking it compulsively. It's rain or shine, but the weather looks good for Saturday. I think it's going to be a nice, cool day with some sunshine. So we look forward to having everybody. I think France's going to tell a little bit about the trucks, and then if you all have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you.
Thanks, Alicia.
And I did want to thank the Fiscal Court for sponsoring the folks that they sponsor every year into leadership, because it is a great program. I've watched it for 20 years, and this is the first year I've been able to participate because it's not on our Fiscal Court day. And so especially the manufacturing side, some of the inner workings, and just the group that they have selected this year are just so knowledgeable, and you can really see them as up-and-coming folks in our community that will be great leaders. But our Touch a Truck event we have put together, and it's been quite a challenge. I think it's a great project for all the kids of our community, as well as to promote awareness of some of these businesses as well. And we're just so thankful for all the people that sponsored vehicles to bring. The fire department, the Army is bringing vehicles, the county, city bringing motorcycles, police cars. We have, the huge wrecker from Bargers, many motorcycles and four-wheelers, tractors, concrete trucks, new vehicles, just numerous, all of the vehicles of the county, the library, mobile, American Red Cross. So I think there'll be something that interests your children for them to get on and actually have a hands-on experience. And each one of these entities actually will have people that are serving there all day to inform the kids about their job and about their vehicle that they're bringing. So I think it'll be a wonderful event for all the families. There'll be food vendors there, so you can stay as well and have lunch or snacks with us. And so I think it'll be a great day. And I thank you again for sponsoring me for the leadership group.
Judge, I did omit one very important fact. It's $15 admission. That gets your entire carload in. So as many folks as you can get in your car, $15 gets you into the parking lot. So.
Okay, thank you all very much. We appreciate it, look forward to it on Saturday. I think it'll be an exciting time. Now, Alicia, is this the first time that we've done this?
It is. This is
I thought
the
it
first
was.
time in Madison County. They've had it in some adjacent counties, but this is the first ever Touch a Truck event in Madison County this year. So.
That's great. We congratulate you and wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next, with the amended agenda, I'm going to ask Mr. Bud Carr to come up, and we think that we've got an excellent program with pretty much great benefits and a very minimal increase in health insurance for the fiscal court and the taxpayers of the county. Bud?
You do, and good morning, everybody, and thank you for having me and giving me the opportunity to kind of review with you and let you know a little bit about what we do. Now, Kent said keep it kind of brief, so I won't read the thousands and thousands of pages of Obamacare here this morning, but there are some things that will affect your benefits, and they are a positive as far as the employees are concerned. There's some negatives because there's a lot of fees/taxes that are included in your rate. So when Kent says the net is a 3% increase for the county on the core plan, and I think it's a 19% increase on the buy-up plan, which is, by the way, the richest benefits that any group that we have, and we're the largest agency in the state. Nobody else has a zero deductible that I know of, and that's an attribute to you guys being able to handle that and offer those benefits. But it's a net 3%, but out of that, 3.5% is Obamacare fees that are built into the rate, so you actually would be a flat if it wasn't for those fees. A couple of things, we'll go back 2 years briefly. You're running kind of high, meaning your claims are very high. You run about 92% loss ratio, have been for the last couple of years. We shop every year with every carrier just to see if there's any other carrier that will give you a better deal. This year, I think one carrier got to 17% increase. So we had to stay with Bluegrass and work with them. We implemented an HRA 2 years ago. It gave you an opportunity to go from a 15% increase down to a flat, a little below, which would save you about $200,000 in premium by doing that. We're not through with the year yet. It ends June 30th, but as of April 15th, I think you had used like $63,000 in the HRA money, so you're way ahead by doing that. This year, we were able to get it from an 11% down to a 3% with two changes. One, we added an extra deductible on that HRA, so it's $5,000 deductible and still 20% to $6,000 maximum out of pocket. But for the employees, you're able to keep their deductible the exact same, $1,000 deductible, $2,000 maximum out of pocket. Okay, so employees see no difference in this. This is all done behind the scenes. All the reimbursements are made to the providers where the employees don't have to do anything. But by doing that and then changing your prescription card, your RX, changing it from a 3-tier copay, leave those same copays alone, but add a 4th tier, which is a 25%. Now that your RX has increased almost 45% in the last year, okay? That will help. Now, we went a little further than that, and if my memory serves me right, and I am old, but I think it only affects 2% of the population. 2% will have to move to that fourth tier, okay? There's no other way around it. But by making those two changes on the core plan only, it got it down to a 3% net increase. So we're real pleased with that. One other thing to mention is good for the employees. Part of Obamacare is all medical co-pays now go towards your max amount of pocket. Used to, they just keep paying them, but they apply towards your max amount of pocket. Other than that, there's about 27,000 other things we could talk about, but if anybody has any questions or concerns, I'd be glad to answer them. Yes, sir.
The 2%, you're talking about an increase in our employees, not the population, but county employees. 2% of our county employees are going to have to go to 25%.
2% is like, it affected 6 people. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to, when I say 25%, there's a cap of 6,200 on a pharmacy, but you're talking members, which is belly buttons, basically. I think you got 300 belly buttons in the whole county operation here.
Okay.
So it affects 6. Now, what we're going to do is have Bluegrass reach out to them because of HIPAA and privacy. We don't need to know who they are, but they do. They'll reach out to them and hopefully offer them other avenues that they can go to help them save money.
6 people.
6 people. Now, the buy-up plan, if you're on the buy-up plan, nothing's changed there. That's the richest benefits of all.
But that's the one that's a 19% increase.
Mhm.
And on the 1,500, 3,000, whichever option that they choose, that will be for a single or a couple or a family, same price.
I didn't catch the first.
Deductible, 1,500, 3,000, say you take the option 2, so.
Well, it's 1,000. It's 1,000 deductible, 2,000 max.
2,000 for family.
Okay.
2,000 for
On the floor plan,
family.
it'll be 2,000 per.
But
per family
there's a
plus
difference in
on-
family and couple, right?
It's still, the family is a max of 2 people, the couple's the same way, but if all the claims are on one person, you only have to meet that 1,000, and they start, in the HRA kicks in. You don't have to meet the full 2,000. If it's on one individual, as soon as you get to the 1,000, and then we start kicking in the HRA. Now, on the higher plan, it's a 0 deductible, it's a 1,500 maximum out of pocket. And on a family plan, it would be double that, would be, but it's still on the individual. So just that one person in your family is sick, as soon as it reaches that 1,500 on the higher plan, that'd be all you pay.
Well, maybe I'm not looking at it right, but when I look at it, it's got a price for a couple, it's also got a price for a family. And there's a big difference between a family and a couple.
Well, it covers family. Like if you have the family plan, still the maximum.
I can ask that when we.
Out of pocket.
You're talking about rates is what you're talking about,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, you're talking about the couple rate versus the family rate, right? Family is husband or spouse and 1 or more kids.
Okay.
Okay? But as far as the deductible, and it's an embedded, and when Glenna speaks, it reminds me of how efficient she is. We deal with a lot of HR people, and she's at the top of the list as far as understanding benefits and taking care of the people. She does a great job. Anything else do you want me to go through, Judge, or Glenna? Or?
Now, any more questions about it? It's just, you know, we've got one of the best health insurance plans for our employees, and we've had the best policies in the last 20 years. We've been able to work with Bud, and Glenn and I spend a whole lot of time with Bud and his assistants looking at the options, looking at the different quotes, and you know, everybody's satisfied with Bluegrass Health. I think everybody I've talked to is. And when we can keep the you know, the $1,000 deductible down, and still, because we were very fortunate about 3 years ago when kind of took an option and were able to put quite a bit of money in a pool, and that's allowing us to pay this rest of this deductible for our employees. So we're continuing to look at a 0 to 3% increase in the core plan for our employees in the county. And I don't know if any other governmental entity in the whole state or the whole country can say that, especially with the new Obamacare rules and regulations.
Yeah, it's kind of complex. It's thinking outside the box, but the net is what you're looking at, the net savings and the net no change other than what you have to, the Obamacare changes and the one drug change, RX change, for your employees, keeping them whole and the same. And I think enrollments start tomorrow morning. So one thing we will do, and we have done, and Glenna's been involved, and the account exec for us has been involved in educating the enrollers on how to explain any changes and some of the Obamacare changes that are involved in the benefits on that. Other than that, all the other benefits are the same. Nothing has changed on the dental.
Nothing had an increase. Dental, vision. Health.
Life insurance be the same company?
The same company. Voluntary life will change as you grow older into a different age bracket. Every 5 years, your rates will go up. It's automatic, but the rates themselves do not change.
I can't get no higher.
You can't get no older?
I can't get no higher.
Okay. Well, guys, I appreciate your time, and you all have a good day. And if anybody needs me, you can get my cell. That's one good thing about being local. We do have a local office. And
What is it, sales number?
You got it. You've called it before. All right. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thanks, Bud. Okay, this is kind of just a renewal. Mark, your opinion, do we need to vote on this? We're just renewing our insurance?
I think it's always the best practice to do that, sure.
Okay. Any other questions you'd like to ask before I ask for a motion?
I think it's good we're keeping the rates low for the employees because
That's the main thing, the employees, and being able and keeping them a great insurance policy, and no additional cost to the taxpayer. So that's, it's a win-win, Greg, it really is. So I would accept a motion to approve the insurance submitted.
Second.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Judge Clark?
Yes. Thank you all very much. Next, we've got the contract on the microwave bids. Carl's here. We discussed this at our last meeting, and you all asked him to go back and look at every possible line item in that. And Carl has worked with Mission Critical and also people that he works with, and he's got a recommendation for us now on the microwave tower.
Yeah, and the microwave backhaul project between Madison and Estill County, we went back and looked at everything. Our original comments were sound. We still want to give the contract to AMK. It's the best package over a 5-year period for cost of ownership. It is the higher end product. It's a fully licensed product, and that means you don't have interference issues as you do with the semi-licensed product, which is what 4.9 is. We went through all the various comments we had from the losing bidder and answered them all to our satisfaction, as well as with Fred. We had a meeting with Fred and myself, Estill County's director, and then Mission Critical's 3 engineers, and then the project manager. So the state sat in on it as well. So I've got the contract. I'm happy with the contract. Mission Critical's happy with the contract. I'd like permission to sign it once I hear back from Matthew Day, the county attorney's office. He's doing his review of it now, but if he doesn't come up with any legal issues, I'd like permission to sign this contract and get the parts on order, because we want to get this project done by August.
Any questions?
Make a motion that we follow his recommendation.
Authorize Carl to enter into the agreement, sign the contract.
Mr. King?
yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Judge Clark?
Yes. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.
Carl, while you're up,
Yes,
what
sir.
about our lights? Did you find out anything?
The
from
tower
that?
lights,
Yeah.
construction lighting, we've got it out for rebid now. A bid did come in, but it came to the wrong location and to the wrong person. It was delivered to 911 with somebody from Mission Critical's name. They didn't follow the bid spec and address it to myself. And 911 didn't know who the guy was, and it was a new dispatcher, so she put it on a table with all the other mail, and no one knew who the person was, so no one grabbed it. So we've sent that bid back to the person unopened and changed some things in it so we get more bids. We talked to the 4 companies that we thought would bid it that didn't, asked them why they didn't bid it, and they said, well, this is a little bit over the top, this is a little bit too tough to guarantee for 10 years, and so we've reduced some of those requirements. So I expect to get 3 or 4 bids this time instead of one that I didn't know I got.
You think the technology on the bulbs will be better?
That's what the experts, some of them say. I mean, you know, it depends on, if you talk to the expert at manufacturers, the old type of bulb, they say theirs is the best. That's the one we've got. It's going out on a regular basis. You talk to the people that manufacture the LED lights, and you know how LED lights are based on what you have at home and stuff. They do have a longer life, and the studies that are out there that are supposedly independent, looks like LED is the way to go. Much lower cost, electrical usage-wise and danger-wise. I mean, you're not putting that kind of voltage up 400 feet or 300 feet, whatever the tower height is.
Do you buy those bulbs and furnish them, then they put them up?
Yeah, we hire.
You buy them in quantity?
Well, we buy a few because they got a shelf life, believe it or not. The current bulbs have a shelf life. They're only guaranteed for a year on the shelf. So we only buy a couple spares so that we don't buy it. They're about $480 a piece, so that we don't buy them and have them sitting on the shelf and they expire, because, you know, climbing the tower is $900. So changing the light bulb winds up costing $1,400.
Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Carl. Next one used to be very intense, and now it's pretty much permission to bid for the road department, the rock, culverts, gas, and diesel. And Leroy's here. Kind of, we've always done this, but there's only one supplier of rock, and culverts never submit a bid, and we split our gas and diesel between 2 vendors in the county. But I think, as we've always done in the past, I'd like the court's permission to allow Leroy to advertise for bid the rock, culverts, gas, and diesel.
So moved.
Second. Master King?
Yes.
Master Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes. Next, I need to talk to you a little bit about, this is our Kentucky Department of Transportation agreement, road maintenance agreement. You all are very much aware of this. We entered into this. We're currently the only county that really does it in the state. And this is maintaining the rural secondary roads. Currently, we have just about 121 miles of those roads. We did it for convenience for the residents of the county, because we go over a lot of those roads getting to the county roads anyway, and the state isn't equipped to take care of them. We've started at $450, now it's $500 a mile. And this year was a very tough year, using 7,000 tons of salt. Francette informed me in the office yesterday we got our salt bids in from our online auction, and one company wouldn't even bid on it. Another one was $100.15 a ton, and another one was $100.25 a ton, for instance, 67 cents a ton. So it looks like they've all got their heads together and figured out we're the only game in town. So we've gone, looks like we're going from $65 a ton for salt to $100 a ton. So what I want to ask the court's permission is to hold up on this road maintenance agreement, because we do salt those state roads solid. That's part of the agreement. We need to renegotiate the cost per mile with them if they're willing to, and if not, it might put us in a financial position where we don't enter into the agreement again this year, because Leroy's looking at it, and he's the cost is be astronomical in another winter like this one, and salt at $100. We'd be in bad financial condition to be taking care of 120 miles of
Do
state
you
roads.
reverse bid salt like you do the other thing?
Mhm. Sure do.
Well, hopefully we won't have another year like we had.
Can't count on that, though.
You know, if we could put some clause in there, and Judge, you good at working these out now. All above a certain amount, maybe they would pay for it.
Well, we're gonna look at all options, okay?
We're gonna hold you to.
Well, they should realize that cost. They gotta buy salt too.
They gotta buy it too.
Well, they
So,
know that.
they're gonna have to, you know, the secretary's gonna have to take a look at it and then get with all his district engineers and say, you know, what are we gonna do? So, I'd like to put this on hold and give Leroy and I a chance to meet with James Ballinger and his staff and see if there's any room to negotiate on this, and then we'll come back with the recommendation to you all once we can sit down with them.
Is there salt bins full now?
No, we couldn't get it. We wanted to fill, we always fill them back up at the end of the year. Leroy wouldn't even call you back, would they? And that's how we've saved every year, because we take advantage of this year's price and we fill the bins up, and all of a sudden we can't get any. So it looks like it's kind of getting tougher. It's like blacktop. Blacktop used to be laid to $22.50 a ton, and now it's about $82.50, $83 a ton. So
But we did receive everything that we had ordered last year.
yes, yeah, they brought everything. So looks like salt's going to be the premier cost this year. So I'm going to ask y'all then, with your permission, to table that until we can talk about it a little bit with District 7. We've got, Leroy, you've got a couple of roads that we want to accept for county road maintenance.
Got 2 streets in Indigo Run, recommend the court to take in Wicksburg and Port Royal Drive.
And we did go down and get Roger, made sure that he was aware of the ones exactly we were taking in, and Roger's district, and he was fine with it. And they're ready. They're ready to be taken in.
Then I got one more, Durbin Lane.
Durbin Lane's been blacktop according to county specs, and those individuals down there put up money, like several other individuals have. So Leroy's recommendation on the 3 roads to take into county road maintenance.
Where's Durbin Lane?
It's over off Union City.
It's about, probably about a mile before we get to Union City on the right.
You want a motion?
So move.
Second.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes, thanks, Leroy.
Thank
Next is, we've got one of our appointments to the Madison County Tax Assessment Board has expired, and he's no longer eligible. They have to sit out a term. So we've called around, and we try to get people that have done it before. They're experienced, and they work with people, work with the PVA. And at this time, we've talked to Will Sharp, and I'd like to appoint Will Sharp to the Madison County Tax Appeals Board. And his appointment will expire April 1st, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes. Okay, Mike, you want to talk a little bit about this interlocal agreement between Richmond and the Sheriff's Office on this JAG grant? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, at this point, I don't have all the information, but each year we share on this grant. It's about $8,000, a little over $8,000 for Richmond Police Department, $8,000 for the Madison County Sheriff's Office. This grant allows us to put forth that money towards what we are still paying on some of the cars that we purchased through our office, along with what money that we are able to forfeit on seizures and forfeitures of drug money. So Major Mitch Brown retired. He was our contact person this year, but this grant has been going on the last 3 years that we've been in office, and it's been very helpful and supportive on doing a lot of things that we need to get done at the office.
So I think what we're doing now, even though it hasn't been awarded yet, is like to ask permission from the court to authorize me to enter into the mutual agreement with the city of Richmond to sign if indeed that we can make the application and get the funds.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes. Next, personnel. We've got a new hire in the home incarceration program. Josh, you want to come up and talk to us a little bit? We've gone through the advertisement as always. We've gone through the interview session, And Josh, with home incarceration, would like to make a recommendation.
Last week, we lost Kelly Taylor, was our other full-time employee. So we, like Judge Clark said, advertised it in the newspaper for a couple days. They pulled the top 4 applicants based on experience, did some interviews. Dina Bell was the most qualified. She has 1 year history with the Court Security Office, 13 and a half years with the Madison County Detention Center. Like we said, out of the top 4, she was the most qualified to take this new position, and this time we'd ask your all's permission to hire her as our new
Before we do
full-time
that,
employee.
Josh, the court usually likes to see who they're hiring. Dina, you want to walk up, please? You're welcome to say something if you'd like to.
Hello.
I'm not putting you on the spot, I'm just kidding.
I'd like to know who the good guys
The
that
court really does put a face with a name, so if they see you around the courthouse or they're coming in, they'll know, hello Dina, how are you? So, but
Yeah.
thank you, we look forward to working with you, and I'm sure you'll do an excellent job. Josh and Michelle are doing a really good job, and we're changing things, new accounting, new drug testing procedures, and everything's really getting the way it needs to be. So we look forward to working with you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
How many people we got on home incarceration right now?
We're in the high 20s right now.
Okay.
We're
Fluctuate.
actually down, man. aren't we?
Down.
Actually,
Yeah.
It is.
Get that thing up to 40.
We're trying our best.
80.
Well, I had a meeting with all 3 district judges, circuit judge, and Mark, and Commonwealth attorney, and everybody involved, and we had some issues, we had some problems, and we're doing everything we can to work those out to satisfy the county attorney and the district judges, and also the Commonwealth attorney and the circuit judges. So I think when we can really iron this thing out and get it straight, then there's no reason why we can't get those numbers up around 60. Thanks, Josh.
I know Doug, well, man.
Needs it. So a motion on Josh's recommendation to hire Dina Bell.
So moved.
Second.
Master King?
Yes.
Master Barton?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Clark?
Yes. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you all.
Okay. I don't have anything in the judge's report. I have one thing I think Philip's going to talk about. Philip's going to talk about that a little bit. So we'll go right into comments from department heads. Anybody? Think we've had?
Well, I'd like to mention, Judge, a week from today, Election Day. Yep.
That right.
Beginning of the day is the busiest
Are
time.
you sure? I thought it was 2 or 3 weeks
I'm
ago.
absolutely positive. And we can't move any closer because we won't be ready, so it's gonna be next Tuesday, whether we like it or not.
You got plenty of officers.
We're having a class tonight. We could use a few more officers, 6 o'clock in the circuit courtroom.
So anybody that would like to be should show
Would
up
like to
tonight
serve,
at 6
yeah.
o'clock in the courtroom.
Yep, 6 o'clock in the courtroom tonight. But everything else is in good shape. We'll be ready.
Okay, thanks, Kenny. Any other department heads? Philip? I don't- Huh? Yeah, let Philip, he's got something, Carl, and then we'll close out with.
Good morning, gentlemen. Ms. Ganner also. The Madison County Historic Properties Division and the Battle of Richmond Association and the Madison County Civil War Roundtable is going to be having a Battle of Richmond Memorial Day service on Sunday, May the 25th at 2:30 in the Richmond Cemetery, right there where the final line was of the Battle of Richmond in 1862. We'd love for people to come out to that. And I've got a little bad news for us. Memorial Day is not the beginning of summer. I mean, Memorial Day is a day that our country has set aside to remember our war dead. And Madison County has had citizens fight in every war this country has had and have died in it. And I would encourage each of you this year to remember the real reason of Memorial Day. And if you can attend a service, that would be great. You can just put a flag out in front of your house to remember these men and women that gave us the rights that we have today. Because there's plenty of people in this world that would love to take those things away. And hopefully it will be a success, and we'll be back next year. And hopefully to remember those men and women who served us all so well. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, Carl, you want to update us on the EOC?
So I don't know if you've driven by the EOC lately, but you can see there's a temporary fence around it and usually a full dumpster or two around it. The deconstruction inside has started in earnest. They have removed all the ceiling tile and grid, all the lighting, many of the plumbing fixtures, ductwork is being removed this week. They may start on the exterior brick removal this week because the brick's got to come off, the veneer. It is going well. I try to visit every other day if I can and walk through it with the construction manager. The crews are doing the right thing. They're doing high quality work. Even though you're tearing things apart, you don't want to tear up anything you're not supposed to tear up. They're paying attention to the drawings. And I was really impressed. They all had on their safety equipment when I did my inspections twice last week. So that made me feel good. So we'll keep an eye on that. They're keeping an eye on it as well, but it's progressing well. It looks a lot different when it's all stripped out and naked like it is. All the doors are gone and everything. It's kind of eerie to us that spent so many years there. But I'll start bringing you some pictures when there's something worth showing you. And but if you want to see it, let me know and I'll set up a tour and we'll get you a hard hat and safety glasses and we'll go show you what it looks like. But it's interesting and it's exciting. Any questions from anybody on it? Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Carl. Any other department heads? If not, comments from magistrates? Greg?
I'm glad to have one of my sons with me here today at the meeting, sitting back here in yellow blue striped shirts. It's that Gregory stand up there. So y'all see it. But he ain't gonna stand up, is it? But everything's going good. Riding across 595 on Walnut Mill Road this morning, it sure felt good and smooth blacktop road as the state's doing their part. As the state roads are blacktopping and the roadsides is looking pretty clean before the grass has grown up and covered the trash. So our county's doing good. I was looking at the statement here and revenue's coming in good and flow's going out good too. So just appreciate being able to be here today.
Glad you're here. Thanks, Greg. Roger?
Only concern I got right now is Wilderness Trail, where we've got it finished. Speed limit signs and a hidden entrance side to that subdivision.
We've ordered it yesterday.
Okay.
We've got finishing up, got the ditching, and we've got about 4 places we're going to put a guardrail up. We're going to install that ourselves. And I called Stacy and ordered the hidden entrance coming from school, coming out of the subdivision yesterday. And we'll also get the speed limit signs up.
Sounds good.
Bill Ray?
I see that Berea Chambers hosting a Meet the Candidates event Thursday evening over here to Berea Community High School, so hopefully a lot of folk will come out to that. And I was going to ask Doug, how many belly buttons you got this morning? Belly buttons, that's Bud, he mentioned that. He mentioned that. I hadn't heard it quite put that way before.
I believe you stumped.
260.
That's down.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, Larry?
Well, Judge, I'm just glad to be here, and then I'm glad we had the meeting here in Berea, and I thank the city of Berea for letting us do that. And if everything goes as planned, hopefully before the election, everybody have a smooth ride to the polls on 10/16. I mean, it's been a nightmare, but you know, with the traffic, it's almost impossible to get anything done. You know, I thought they may do this overnight, but then I'm sure some people would complain, well, it's getting you up all night. There's just so much traffic. I mean, you know, you go down at Silver Creek School at 3:15, and they're backed all the way down to the bridge waiting to get their children. So hopefully when we get the bypass completed, that'll be a dead end, and they'll come around the other way and it won't happen anymore. That's probably the best thing going. But other than that, I'm just glad to be here, Judge.
Well, I might take the blame, Larry, because I insisted that they do 10/16 and 595, some of these roads down Berea first.
I'm glad, and I
It was supposed to have been
appreciate
done last fall, and they couldn't get to them, so.
Scaffolding's done.
Yeah.
It's done. They've done a good job on it. So, and they're doing a good job here. They've leveled it up real good, and now they'll start with And the final coat seems like goes a lot quicker anyway, because it, you know, it's just run, truck. So hopefully we'll have it done here in 2 or 3 days.
Okay, good deal. Comments from the audience? Anybody like to come up? If not, Tuesday, May 27th in Richmond will be our next court date, 9:30. And want to thank everybody for coming out. We enjoy having a crowd. And would accept a motion to pay the claims and approve the transfer.
So moved.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Judge Clark?
Yes. Motion to adjourn. Right, anytime.
Oh, yeah, wait a second. Play something big, Ray, that's it.
Everybody.
Please, sir.